Have you or a loved one suffered from heat stroke or heat exhaustion? If so, you may be entitled to compensation. Call 1-800-BRANDON-WARNER.
Heat exhaustion occurs when a person exercises and works in a hot environment and the body cannot cool itself adequately. Dehydration occurs with water loss from excessive sweating, which causes muscle cramps, weakness, and nausea and vomiting.
Clinically, heat stroke is characterized by central nervous system dysfunction, multi-organ failure, and extreme hyperthermia that is usually above 40.5 degrees Celsius.
Exertional heat stroke is a medical emergency, sporadic in nature, and directly related to strenuous physical activity.
The results indicate that each year in the United States, there are an estimated 4,126 emergency department visits for heat stroke, with an annual national incidence rate of 1.34 visits per 100,000 population and a case fatality of 3.5%.
Signs and symptoms of heat stroke include 104 temperature, red pigmentation, hot and dry skin, neurodysfunction, nausea or headache, and loss of consciousness. The following content are examples of what to do and what not to do when treating heat stroke and heat exhaustion. What not to do when treating heat stroke.
Oh man, that's heat stroke.
How not to take rectal temperatures.
I like you cut, G.
How to take rectal temperature. Step 1. Put the patient on the side. Step 2. Lubricate the Datatherm probe. Step 3. Spread the patient's butt cheeks. Step 4. Insert the Datatherm probe 2 to 3 inches or 10 to 15 centimeters. Or observe the temperature on the monitor and continue to monitor the patient until safe body temperature has been reached. How to correctly treat a patient with heat stroke. Immerse the patient in a cold whirlpool until a safe temperature has been reached. The whirlpool should be 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and the patient can be monitored by rectal temperature. Signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion include muscle cramping, fatigue, a headache, vomiting, and dizziness.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
What not to do when treating heat exhaustion.
Here's Gatorade, kid.
When treating heat exhaustion, bring the athlete into a cooler environment and provide them with wet towels for under their armpits and on their forehead. Also give them electrolytes to drink.
To summarize heat stroke, signs and symptoms include high body temperature above 103 degrees Fahrenheit, hot, red, dry, or damp skin, fast, strong pulse, headache, confusion, nausea, loss of consciousness. Heat stroke is caused from the body overheating from prolonged exposure and physical exertion in high temperatures. 911 should be called right away, and the athlete should be taken to a cooler environment where they can then be placed into an ice bath and be monitored till the temperature drops to a safe level.
To summarize heat exhaustion, signs and symptoms include sweating, cold, pale, clammy skin, a fast, weak pulse, nausea, vomiting, muscle cramps, tiredness or weakness, dizziness, and headaches. Heat exhaustion is typically caused by excessive heat and working out in hotter environments. If an athlete does experience heat exhaustion, you need to move them to a cooler place, loosen any tight clothing, place a cool, wet rag onto their skin, and instruct them to drink water and electrolytes. 911 should be called if the patient's symptoms worsen or last longer than 1 hour.
I'm Brandon Warner, and I approve this message.
Everybody's behind the scenes, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Look at the behind the scenes.
I wasn't ready for that. So close.
Yeah, gains!
Take 10. Scene 1. Excellent.
Yeah, ready? Wait, no! I'll crap it out.
Are you kidding?